Welcome to the Ad Expert Podcast. We are diving right into what felt like a digital marketing earthquake back in the fall of 2025. I'm talking about this sudden, really dramatic vanishing act of Reddit links from ChatGPT's citations. It wasn't gradual at all, was it? It was like falling off a cliff, and it caused, well, absolute panic for anyone trying to influence that AI search.
Oh, it was seismic, yeah. For marketers, for strategists, Reddit had become this cornerstone for what we call generative engine optimization, GEO, right?
GEO.
That's the whole strategy of getting your content seen, cited, used by the big AI tools. So when, the main source for all those nuanced user-generated answers just disappears almost overnight, the market reaction was instant.
Absolutely instant. So the big question for us today, and really for you listening, is this. Does this technical hiccup, this disappearance, actually mean Reddit is dead for SEO, dead for AI influence? Or is this maybe just a very specific, perhaps fixable blind spot?
And that's our mission today, right? To unpack the data, figure out the technical cause, which wasn't immediately obvious to everyone, I have to say, and give you a clear strategic roadmap to adapt.
Exactly. And we should probably mention, the only reason we could pinpoint that cause so quickly is down to how we approach analysis here at Ad Expert.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so let's set the stage a bit. Give some context about Ad Expert. We're a Los Angeles-based online marketing and web development agency. Been doing this for over 10 years now, helping clients both, in the local LA market and also with complex e-commerce setups navigate this constantly changing digital world.
And our main focus areas, things like website SEO, local SEO, managing Google Ads, web development, especially with WordPress and Shopify, they're all built on this foundation of being data-driven. We really live and breathe real-time insights. We use live tracking, live reporting. And importantly, we don't just talk about AI, we actually use innovative AI solutions, things like advanced analytics, AI-powered customer targeting. It's all geared towards getting results for our clients.
And when something like this Reddit situation hits, it's that methodology, that deep expertise from the team that really makes the difference. We've got Sam Ashrafi, our founder and marketing strategist, and Ehsan Nabovadi, who's our real expert in SEO and professional analytics. I remember when this all went down in September, Sam and Ehsan weren't just looking at Reddit's website status, no. They were digging into Google's logs, their developer updates.
Yeah, the first question wasn't, what did Reddit break?
Exactly. It was, what did Google change? Where's Google hiding the key? And that kind of dedicated focus, that's really why we caught the technical cause much faster than most.
It is. And that focus brings us right to the data, because the scale of this shift, it was just staggering.
It really was. I mean, Reddit links had become so dominant in generative search results. We saw them peak at over 14% of all ChatGPT citations in early September. 14%.
That's huge. It made Reddit almost untouchable as a source for, quality GEO influence. It was the peak for the platform in that space.
The absolute peak. But then, like you said, the data just fell off a mountain. By the end of that same month, September 2025, that 14% had plunged, just plummeted, down to only 2%.
2%. Basically, the platform just became invisible to ChatGPT's main content gathering processes.
And this wasn't just some, academic discussion for tech blogs either. Our sources confirm this had real massive market implications. Reddit's stock actually dropped nearly 10%.
It did. Investors saw the implications of losing that huge AI citation visibility and reacted. That's a serious market signal.
It really is. Which brings us to the absolute crucial question. What actually broke? Was it Reddit? Did they suddenly block access, maybe try to monetize their data differently? Was it some kind of self-inflicted wound?
Well, that was the immediate speculation, wasn't it? That Reddit must have flicked a switch.
Right. That seemed like the obvious answer at first.
But the data, when we dug into it, told a completely different story. The decline was tied directly, unequivocally, to a change on Google's side, the specific culprit. Google removed a very technical, kind of obscure mechanism, the NM100 parameter in their search URLs.
Okay, NM100.
Right.
It sounds incredibly technical, almost buried in the code. For those of us not constantly looking at Google search strings, why does removing that one little parameter cause such a catastrophic drop for Reddit and ChatGPT?
It really boils down to efficiency and depth of search results. Historically, that NM100 parameter allowed large-scale scrapers, and yes, AI tools like ChatGPT definitely fall into that category, to efficiently pull back much deeper sets of Google search results. Specifically, it let them easily grab results ranking from position 20 all the way up to position 100.
Ah, okay. And Reddit, because it's got all these niche discussions, long-tail answers, it often ranks really well. But in that, let's say, 20 to 100 range, not always on page one for everything.
Exactly right. Reddit's strength is often in that deeper CRP territory for specific, nuanced queries. So when Google disabled that NM100 key, effectively, the AI tools were instantly limited mostly to just page one results, the top 10 or so. All that incredibly valuable, nuanced Reddit content that typically sits just off the front page, poof, it vanished from the AI's primary source pool because the tool couldn't easily ask Google for those deeper pages anymore.
Okay, wow. But hold on. If Google is limiting access to deeper results like that, isn't that kind of throttling the quality of the AI answers themselves? Aren't they potentially hurting the usefulness of tools like ChatGPT, maybe even their own AI efforts down the line, by making good content harder to find?
That's precisely the tension here. And most experts view this move as fundamentally a strategic defense by Google. They seem to be trying to curb these large-scale AI scrapers, partly to protect their own core advertising business model, maybe also control the flow of information. By making content acquisition harder, slower, potentially more expensive for these third-party AI tools, they force a choice.
A choice like.
Either the AI companies have to negotiate and potentially pay for direct data access, like Reddit actually did with OpenAI previously. Remember that deal?
Right, the data sharing agreement.
Or Google is simply safeguarding the value of its own high-ranking index, making it harder for competitors to leverage it freely. It's definitely a competitive chess move in the AI space.
It really changes the game for marketers then. If Reddit is suddenly, a ghost town for this generative engine optimization, does that mean we just abandon it? Has this technical issue somehow poisoned Reddit for traditional, regular SEO as well?
No, emphatically, absolutely not. And this is crucial. We have to distinguish between this specific GEO citation issue caused by the Google parameter change and Reddit's core underlying SEO power. The ChatGPT problem does not significantly impact Reddit's massive visibility in traditional Google search rankings. Reddit remains one of the most powerful SEO tools out there, period.
Okay, that's a strong statement. And you found that metric that it blew my mind when I saw it. As of late August 2025, so right before this citation crash happened, Reddit.com was the second most visible domain in all of Google search in the U.S.
Second only to Google's own properties, essentially.
Yep.
Oh, it speaks volumes about its inherent quality, its authority in Google's eyes.
So Google still loves Reddit, fundamentally.
Absolutely. Google consistently prioritizes Reddit's rich, user-generated content. That authenticity is key. If you, as a user, are searching for real-world reviews, personal recommendations, deep niche expertise, Google trusts Reddit to provide that, often more than branded content. So any marketer thinking of abandoning Reddit now because of the ChatGPT issue is making a huge mistake. They'd be confusing a technical AI sourcing problem with a decline in organic search power. Its traditional SEO influence is, for all intents and purposes, completely intact.
Okay, that's incredibly important to clarify. So the core SEO power is strong, solid. But the GEO influence, the ability to get cited by ChatGPT, is currently, let's say, hampered. So looking ahead now, what's the prognosis? Will Reddit content likely return as a reliable source for AI answers? And maybe more importantly for listeners, what should you be doing right now to adapt to this new landscape?
Well, we strongly believe, based on a few factors, that Reddit's current absence in many AI answers is likely a temporary blind spot. The technology, the market demands, they're heavily incentivized to bring that valuable content back into the fold somehow.
Okay, what are those main incentives? What makes you think it'll come back?
Well, first, as we mentioned, there's that pre-existing data sharing agreement between Reddit and OpenAI, signed back in May 2024.
Right.
That suggests the long-term plan was always for content to eventually flow via official APIs, not just relying on scraping Google search results, which is, as we've seen, vulnerable. That API route bypasses the NM100 issue entirely. Second, technical workarounds are definitely possible. OpenAI doesn't only use Google search. They can lean more heavily on Bing, other search engines, maybe other data partnerships where Reddit might still be indexed deeply or accessible differently.
Okay, so the API and potential workarounds. And the third reason, you mentioned market demand.
Yeah, and this might be the most powerful driver, user demand. Let's face it, Reddit content provides a certain kind of nuanced, subjective, real-world perspective. What do actual humans think about X that AI models struggle to find in, say, formal press releases or corporate blogs? If the quality of ChatGPT's answers noticeably declines because it's missing this rich source of human experience, OpenAI is highly incentivized to invest resources in fixing that gap. Users will notice.
That makes perfect sense. Quality drives usage. So adaptation is clearly the name of the game right now. Since we can't just rely on Google's deep results to passively feed our Reddit threads into ChatGPT anymore, what's the immediate actionable strategy? What should marketers be doing now if they want that dual success, strong, traditional SEO and regaining some of that GEO influence?
Right, you need to think about a dual mandate now. You need strategies that satisfy both the traditional search engine algorithms and this newly constrained AI sourcing process, which is heavily biased towards page one.
Okay, so strategy number one, and this feels like a pretty significant shift in focus.
Strategy number one, focus intensely on page one SEO. I mean, really intensely. Ranking on that first page of Google, the top 10 results, is now exponentially more critical if you also want GEO success from search scraping. It seems to be the only content AI tools are now reliably pulling via Google search after that parameter change. Forget aiming for position 30 for AI visibility, you're now aiming for position 8, position 5. It has to be on page one.
Wow, okay, that definitely tightens the competition, makes it much harder. What about not putting all your eggs in one basket?
Exactly. Strategy number two, diversify your visibility. Please do not rely solely on Reddit, even though it's powerful. You absolutely must ensure your valuable perspectives, your brand mentions, your keyword-rich content are present across multiple high-authority domains. Think reputable Q&A sites, established industry directories, high-quality forums in your niche, and of course maintaining your own robust, informative blog. Broader coverage across the web acts as insurance against these sudden unilateral changes by a single platform like Google.
Makes sense. Spread the risk, increase the touch points. And finally, how do we use Reddit itself more effectively now, given its SEO strength is still there?
Strategy number three, use Reddit smarter and aim higher. Engage authentically, always. But be strategic. Ensure your target keywords are naturally integrated and prominent in thread titles, in your posts, in relevant comments where appropriate. Foster genuine discussion. And absolutely avoid any low quality or black hat stuff like buying upvotes. That's always been risky, but even more so now. The goal isn't just to get your comment indexed somewhere deep in Google anymore. The goal now is to help drive that genuinely useful Reddit discussion onto Google's first page. That's the new higher bar for entry for GEO via Reddit.
Okay, this has been a really insightful deep dive. It just shows, doesn't it, that digital strategy is never static. It's always a moving target. I think the main takeaway here is pretty clear. Reddit is definitely not dead, not for SEO anyway. It's still a critical, high authority part of the digital landscape. It's just, currently adapting, rather, we are adapting to technical changes largely dictated by Google. It just underscores the need to constantly optimize for both traditional search and these generative engines, almost simultaneously.
That's exactly right. And this whole situation, this Reddit ChatGPT episode, it serves as a really powerful case study in, well, vulnerability. It proves just how risky it can be to rely too heavily on any single external mechanism, like, in this case, Google's deep search results for AI sourcing to power a really critical piece of your overall strategy. So this challenge, it really forces you, the listener, to look inward, to think about your long-term, data-driven strategy. Are you truly prepared? Are you set up to conduct the necessary internal research and testing? Running A/B tests on your content structure, on where you deploy it, and crucially, are you actively leveraging your own past performance data, your internal metrics, when these external rules suddenly change without warning? Because relying on your own insights, testing your own assumptions, that's really the only reliable way to future-proof your marketing efforts against the next inevitable technical seismic shift.